talking about how I build my own diet and how I build it for a lot of my guys and girls as well. So hopefully this is helpful for some people in terms of if you're not too sure on nutrition. If you are a nutrition wizard, then don't watch any further because you will know all this stuff anyway. We're just going to cover the basics of building your own diet and my ethos and the way that I build them. So the first thing I always do, and the first thing I always encourage people to do, is firstly ask yourself whenever you are looking at a diet, to firstly say to yourself, can I see myself doing this in 3, 6, 9 months time? And if the answer is no, don't start it. It needs to be something that you enjoy. Also, if you hear any little sounds in the background, it's just me chugging away on my diet cherry Pepsi. So just thought I'd get that one out there quickly. So the first thing I usually jump on to work out calories and macros is going to be calculator.net. So this is my go-to whenever I'm breaking down calories and what needs to go into a diet. So let's just pick someone at random. So they put in there for us 25-year-old male, 5'10", and let's say 180 pound, and he exercises 3 to 5 times per week. So we calculate that. So it depends on what our goal is. So generally, as a rule of thumb, whenever I'm looking for losing weight, it's going to be 1 to 2 pounds. So to start with, I always aim for somewhere in between this number. Again, it is going to depend what your metabolic rate is like and how quickly you usually lose weight, and also what your body and how it responds to food. So whether you're like a mesomorph or an ectomorph or an endomorph, you will sort of know your body by now and what those terms will mean. If not, hit the good old Google and it'll break it down for you. So let's just say for now we are looking to lose 1 pound per week. So we're going to set the calories at 2,300 to be exact. And then if we go into MyFitnessPal, so this is the other thing you'll need: calorie calculator and MyFitnessPal. They're the two go-tos. They're the only two things you are going to need, and they'll be your saving grace. So the first thing we're going to do is to set your goal. So those calories that we took from over there, the 2,300, there's your magic number. We are going to bang that in there, and then you can split up your percentages. So what I always do is, and it depends whether you are in a mindset where you hate having carbs. So I have a lot of clients who are like, don't really like carbs, it makes me bloated. People are scared of carbs, I don't know why. It's obviously some kind of myth or fad where people get put off with. But I always like to keep mine nice and high, around 45%, because if I am in a deficit, I like some energy, and I like potato, like chips, like bread. I like all the good things. All the good shit in life is carbohydrate. So I like keeping that nice and high. But the main thing you want to look out for is your protein intake. So you always want it to be about a gram per pound of body weight. So if we entered our gentleman here as 180 pound, it needs to be at least 180 grams. So obviously 230 is a little bit too much. So I'd probably stick it a little bit over. I wouldn't go under. So about 35%. Then fats at 25, and we'll drop this down to 30 because protein needs to be a little bit higher. So as long as you're hitting these two numbers are the main thing. So your calories and your grams per pound of body weight, they're the only two numbers that really matter, especially if you want to be gaining lean tissue through the process, because obviously we're not going to go into too much, but if you're a lot of guys that I get comfortable with, I want to lose body fat, but I want to get bigger. And obviously it is a contradicting goal in terms of it's difficult to lose body fat and add tissue, because to lose body fat you need to be in a deficit, to add tissue you need to be in a surplus. But you can still add a little bit of lean tissue whilst you're in a deficit. It's just making sure that this magic number is a pound to a gram. So we'll set that, and then it's basically up to you where you want to set these to. I'm not massively picky. I like having carbs, so I'll set it a little bit higher. And if you are more performance based and you're looking to maybe increase some of your lifts, you're going to need to keep this a bit higher anyway, so you've got more energy. And then of course it depends what your job is. Some people like having the fats a little bit higher because they respond better to fats. They like having more fat in the diet. They prefer nuts, avocado, eggs, that sort of thing. So maybe push that a little bit higher, but these are your main two. As long as you get those down to a fine art, you are hunky-dory. So, we save those changes. And then what we can do is then go into foods. And I'll skip this because it's something I've been messing around with before. So the way my ethos is the way I like to structure the day up is I look at my 3 core meals first: breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and that's where I predominantly share out most of my calories. And next, the most important meal I'll focus on is pre and post workout, which I enter into snacks. And then what I do is I go by the rule of I don't really care. And what I mean by that is the rest of the calories can go into snacks, and I will have whatever I want to, whether it's a muffin, whether it's a biscuit, whether it's something you prefer, which you have more health. Whatever your favourite food is, use it and put it into snacks. A maintainable and enjoyable diet is going to be far more long lasting than if you start just putting things in there because you think it's healthy. A diet which is made up of 5% what deems crappy food isn't going to harm you. It's just going to make things a lot more easy along the line, and it's going to be easier to follow and move forward in 6-12 months time, because it needs to become a lifestyle and a journey, not just a quick fad. Because what a lot of people do is they jump in the deep end with stuff and make things far difficult because they think they need to drop weight, and you don't. So I usually have for breakfast, and what I'll put in for most people because it's nice and easy, is either granola, because a lot of people don't like porridge, but I am a porridge fan. So I'll usually just bang in some oats, put about 60 grams in. I'll usually mix in some whey. It doesn't have to be Optimum, that's just what's in there. I'll usually mix in some banana with it as well, maybe half banana and some strawberries. I'll add that in there. Sorry, and then that is your breakfast. Do the same with lunch, dinner, and then what you are looking for then is to hit these totals. So we've also put in as our daily goals these numbers, and we want to try and hit those as close as possible. You're never going to hit them to the exact T. You're never going to hit the number on the head, but as long as we're getting there and round about, especially these numbers, the calories and the protein, we are okay. So do that for your breakfast, lunch, dinner. I mean, lunch I usually have chicken and some kind of microwave or rice because I can't be arsed cooking. And then dinner I usually have like stir fry with maybe some potato, again turkey or hex sausages, whatever you feel like, steak, as long as hitting those numbers again. And then pre and post workout, what I usually like, I'll put these in just so you can see them because it's something that I always have and people always ask me why I have them. So I'll always have Skittles. The reason is, there is no real reason, it's because it tastes nice. I'd rather eat Skittles and have like rice cakes or some kind of waxy maize where it tastes like you're eating gone off breast milk or talcum powder. So I'll put that in with a post and pre whey protein just because it's easy to digest and it's not too heavy on my stomach afterwards, and maybe have before a banana and other Skittles after. Obviously you hear a lot of stuff about Skittles and fast acting sugars after workouts, and it helps spike insulin levels and then it helps protein synthesis straight after training. Yeah, it may well do, but I just like the taste of the rainbow. So put them in there. And then snacks, the kind of things that I'll be having is I have a lot of Greek yogurt. I love Greek yogurt. I love bagels, peanut butter. I have a lot of Kit Kats. They are my one true love. So I'll sometimes have Kit Kats, chocolate rice cakes, any of the stuff that you can see in there I'll have it in snacks throughout that process. And then what I will then do is, once I've filled my whole day, I've hit my numbers, let's just go back on a day. So this is probably one I've set for someone else. What I'll do then is I will take a screenshot of that, which will then save, he says, there. So that's on my desktop now. So you have got your first day set with your exact calories that you need to be hitting to drop weight, and that is there. What I will then do is pull up a Word document. So it doesn't have to be fancy like mine. Obviously mine's got the My Coach stuff on it. I'll put some overviews and some kind of things that I like to stick to. And again, I'll just break mine up into those meals, the core meals, snacks. So I'll have breakfast, snack, lunch, pre and post workout of a train later, even a meal, maybe a late evening snack, depending on how many calories you've got left to play with. And I don't really do timings of meals. Like even sometimes in the morning, I will fast. Not because I choose to, just because I'm busy and I don't have time. I'm not a massive believer in timings or it's too late or too early to eat. Like this, sometimes this meal I won't get until 9 or 10 o'clock and I won't have this until 10 or 11 o'clock. Your body is never going to look at a clock and go, oh crap, it's past 6, 7, 8 o'clock. Everything now we do is going to be stored as body fat. It just doesn't work that way. I worked for the police for a good amount of years and I used to eat like 2, 3, 4 in the morning. Then the next week after, I'd be finished eating by 8 p.m. because I'd be up for work at 5. Like your body clock doesn't care what time you eat. There's people across the other side of the world who are eating at opposite times to you. So don't be worried about food timings. It has no effect on your ability to lose weight or gain weight if that's your goal. Just all you need to be worried about is calories in versus calories out over that 24-hour period. So stick to those numbers. So you can start filling these in then. So say you've got your breakfast, lunch, dinner and your snacks sorted. Literally just put these into a Word document. So you'll just put your Alpro almond milk. Oh, that's allowed milk, so almond milk. Whatever meal you choose. Then whatever else you've got. So chicken breast and rice at lunch. Your pre and post workout with your Skittles and your whey protein, and then there you have got your first day. So I might do that for a Monday, and what I'll sometimes knock it up is like 2 training days, maybe 1 rest day, and you've got some variation to choose from for the week then. And then at least you know where your numbers are, and that's how I will knock my diet up. So focus on those core meals first, pre and post workout with your calories next, and then share the rest of the calories out between snacks, and they can be whatever you want, and don't focus too much on timing. And then obviously, of course, there is a couple of fill out things. So the type of things that I use to fill out and the calories that I don't count will be, I don't count vegetables. I also use such things like 10 calorie Jello, Cadbury's Highlights. I have a lot of diet drinks, which you've probably heard me on slurping on my cherry Pepsi before. It's just like little gap fillers, which I like to use to keep me, if I am in a deficit, especially full throughout the day. Not going to harm you, and they will help you stay on track of what you're doing, especially if everything's balanced with the other stuff you're doing. And then again, it comes to that point of what happens if I have a boob up in the week. So you go over these calories, you have a day, you get home, you can't be arsed, you've had one of those days where you can't bother going to the gym, so you haven't really exercised too much, and you eat half a New York cheesecake. So say, for example, we set our calories before, well, just say, for example, now we set them at 2,000 calories every single day. So at the end of the week, our total calorie intake is 14,000. Now, stick with me on this one, just because it's a little bit of maths, and I'm crap at maths. So, if we spend on 2,000 each day, but on day 2, you've devoured a New York cheesecake and you're like, oh, it's the end of the world, I don't know what I'm going to do, I'm not going to lose weight this week, sod the rest of the week, I'm not going to go to the gym, I'm going to eat crap all week. And I think that's a lot of people's mentality. That is not the end of the world. You can easily pull it back, so easily pull it back, because then all you need to do is, if you've had 2,000 calories over what you're supposed to do there, all you need to do is take off 500 calories there, 500 calories there, 500 there, 500 there. So all you're doing is knocking these down to 1,500, 1,500, 1,500, and 1,500, and then you'll still hit that magic number. So play around with numbers. Your body will work off a weekly intake, so don't worry if this day you have a cock up. And then even sometimes what I'll do is leave these calories like that anyway, and have 2,000 there, because you're the type of person who this is day 6 of Saturday, loves a big fucking Domino's or something like that, and you have like 5,000 calories and you're going a little bit over, then at least you've accounted for it at the weekend. But I always put a cheat meal on a Saturday anyway, where I know some people don't like the phrase cheat meal, so I'll put them like that. Cheat meal, whatever you like. I know some people have a calorie controlled. It just depends on your body and how it's reacting to the calories. If you need to have a calorie controlled cheat meal, what you may want to do is set yourself 1,000 calories aside, not 10,000, 1,000 calories aside of a Saturday evening, and you can have what you want because that's fixed in. Some people, or what I'll do myself is I don't have a number. I'll just eat whatever I like, because if I'm going for a meal with family, friends, whoever, and we're going for a drink, I don't want to be standing at the bar putting stuff into MyFitnessPal, or don't want to be putting a 5-course meal into a set amount of calories, because it's just not realistic and it isn't a life. At the same time as you want to look better, you still need to have some kind of life. So I'll always have that cheat meal there. If you start finding that you're not losing weight, then you need to start looking at these numbers, and maybe the odd week or every 2 weeks have a calorie control cheat meal. And that is the basics of how I set stuff up. It's very easy, it's very simple. If you want to save this video, you'll be able to on Facebook, so you can go back over it, or if you want to take some notes from it. This is your bread and butter for setting up your own diet. It's not overcomplicated. It's very, very simple. If you only take 2 or 3 things away from it, it's set a calorie intake, stick to it. Stick to your protein intake, have a gram per pound of every body weight, and make sure you're just working out your calories in, versus calories out, and sticking to them on a weekly basis, even if you have a boob up on day 2. And that's all you need to really stick to in terms of your calories. Don't make it too complicated. Don't overwork things. Don't be eating like some kind of crazed madman, having chicken and broccoli a couple of times a week, because it just doesn't need to be that way. Get the chocolate rice cakes in there, get some Skittles in there, enjoy your life, and enjoy your weekend as well.